This is a paragraph from Arthur Compton's autobiography about the meeting on April 27th, 1942. This is how he tells it. To this Chicago team, we put the question, what can we do to purify large quantities of uranium quickly? Promptly, they gave us a laboratory answer, making use of a well-known characteristic property of uranium, that is nitrate are soluble in ether. That nitrates is soluble in ether. They prepared a number of pounds of uranium salt that satisfied fully our exacting purity requirements. When, however, we asked several major chemical producers to prepare pure uranium for us by this method, with one accord, they declined and firmly. It was obvious that all such manufacturers were already fully engaged with war orders, but also this was a task they did not want. Ether was not only explosive, but erratic as well. My mind turned to Ed Mallinckrodt of St. Louis, whose relatively small chemical works specialized in the production of both ether and pure chemicals. 20 years before we had known each other well and had spent many hours discussing the factors that might be responsible for the tricky explosions to which ether is subject, Mallinckrodt had a well-earned reputation for caution. Along with this was a remarkable record for the safety of its employees and a tradition of slow care and making important decisions. We needed his carefulness and expert knowledge of how to handle ether, but we also needed fast action. In response to a phone call, Mallinckrodt invited me to have breakfast with him the following morning at his beautiful home in St. Louis. At his suggestion, I brought with me Dr. Spedding, who was familiar with the chemical problems involved. Spedding talked with the chemists and engineers at the plant while I discussed with Mallinckrodt the nature of the project on which we were engaged and the critical importance of getting pure uranium fast. With a limited number of competent technical men in his organization, acceptance of this task would present formidable difficulties in meeting our other important commitments. Our project was yet only a dream, but Mallinckrodt evidently saw something of its immense possibilities and a need for the kind of help his organization was uniquely qualified to give. Perhaps he also was inspired by the opportunity to play an essential part in what might become one of the greatest technical developments of history. In any case, within 2 hours of his decision was made. What remained to be done was to agree upon the contextual procedures and to get working on the plant.